I'm just waiting for people to come on. I've been playing around with my bowls this morning. You can just about see them over here in the corner, just to lighten the energy a little bit and feel Good morning. I know I'm a little bit late. I had a bit of a panic. I poured tea down my clean shirt, so I had to go and get changed. Anyway, never mind, that aside. Today, a few things on board. Show you crystals that have turned up this week. I'll be doing a recap or talk about the Schumann Resonance and the effects that it has on on humans. I'll recap on the crystals for stress, anxiety and depression. Self-care tips, grounding and its importance, burning incense and which type, and we'll just see if anyone comes on. Anyway, you can always watch this in the replay, and the Saturday session I am going to be putting up onto my YouTube as well, because I like it to be more informative and educational, so all being well, you know, it will help people. Right, so let's start off with the Schumann Resonance. The Schumann Resonance is basically the Earth's heartbeat, and what it does is it measures the megahertz, and the megahertz is the vibrations. Now, for a long time, it's been between 7 and 10 megahertz, and now, in the last few years, the resonance, the vibration has been going up and up and up. At the moment, in about the past, I think it's 4 to 5 years, it's been resonating between 20 and 40. And a few weeks ago, it was recorded at its highest ever, which was 120, 130 megahertz. There were a lot of posts out there on social media where people were saying, oh my God, I can't sleep, I'm feeling really stressed, I'm really feeling really anxious. And that's because of the Schumann Resonance, the Earth's heartbeat. Now, one of the easiest ways to combat that is to learn to ground. Now, yes, going for a walk on the beach, barefoot, walking on grass, barefoot, that's fine, it helps, but it's temporary. Now, a few years ago, well, a long time ago actually, about 15, 20 years ago, I was actually given a grounding technique by Spirit, and I have done a video, and it's on my YouTube channel. So Magic Hands Healing on YouTube, and the video is grounding exercise. I will be redoing it. I'll be doing it with just a voice recording and some quiet music. Today, if you can hear cars, it's because I have the door open. It's a lovely warm day and I didn't want to be just shut in the room. And when I recorded that, there was quite a lot of interference from cars and birds alike. So, you know, of course I want to redo it so that it's more tranquil for people to listen to. So that's one of the easiest ways of helping with the fluctuations of the Schumann resonance. Now, of course, grounding is the most important thing in a spiritual life anyway, because if you're ungrounded, your energy's all over the place, you're taking on lots and lots of baggage, and learning to ground properly to your earth star, that literally helps wash away all of the energies and all of the pollutants that are in your energy field that you really do not need. Okay, so as I said, YouTube Magic Hands Healing Grounding Exercise, and it will be redone at some points in the near future. Now, before I go any further, I just want to quickly introduce our new crystals for this week. We have quite a few quartz that have come in. They need a little bit of a clean up and cataloguing, but they are really, really lovely. We have a raw garnet. You can see it shining. Whoops, I don't know where to put this. There we go. You can actually see the garnet there shining. Now, garnet is actually a stone that now it helps with anxiety and depression. Yes, crystals are changing their own properties and their own vibrations, because as the earth itself is raising its vibrations, there are dormant properties in the crystals, and of course as the vibration goes up, then of course the dormant properties in the crystals will also awaken to help us. I have also received some cubes, strawberry quartz, rose quartz and clear quartz. Lovely little cubes, very handy for carrying around and just having on you, or as a very tactile thing, you know, just to hold it in your hands to calm and relax. We also have the Labradorite that's arrived. Let me see if I can get this one to shine properly. I have been trying to take photographs, but so far I haven't been that successful. It is extremely flashy and very beautiful. That'll be catalogued and put up on the website. I have 8 in all, and they're all different. Some are blue and greeny colours. No, I'm not getting the flash at all. I'm not managing it. Oh dear, never mind. And then of course there are some that are the more orangey, goldy type. So those are the new kids on the block for this week, the new crystals. They will be catalogued and put up on the website once I can get some good photographs of them. Now, crystals for anxiety. As I said on Wednesday night, crystals' vibrations are changing, and as a result they are actually crossing over a lot more, And when I was sorting out the crystals on Wednesday for Wednesday's live, we found that we actually had a lot more than we thought. So a bit of a surprise was Mangano Calcite. This is an absolutely it's beautifully translucent stone, and you get lots of glassy bits in it as well. Stress, anxiety, depression, yes. And the newer one is the pink Peruvian opal. Now this of course is very opaque, and both of them help with nightmares. So if you have young children, or children, you know, of a sensible age, and you know that they're having nightmares, these two crystals, Peruvian pink opal and Mangano Calcite, do help. Now our hearts are all £10, and the Peruvian opal is various prices because I have 5. So Peruvian opal and Mangano Calcite help with nightmares as well as anxiety, stress and depression. Moss agate also, whoops, I'm not doing very well with the light today. Moss agate is also very good to help with, because it gives you the Gaia, the earth connection. Now this one was a surprise to me, as I said before, with the garnet. I have them in moon form at the moment, as well as a natural. And garnet also helps with the category. So, and they're really quite lovely, those. Unfortunately you can't see them because the light's not too perfect in here, but it's these two moons are a sort of reddy colour and black. So garnet, strawberry quartz and rose quartz also. Strawberry quartz is a very powerful crystal, and at the same time it has a very gentle energy. And sometimes when I'm getting anxious and I'm doing work, I have my own tower, and I place it down the front, and it sits on the desk up against my heart chakra, and straight away I feel that it's really, really calming. So strawberry quartz, rose quartz, fluorites, fluorites also, whoops, not that one. So fluorite is also one. I do have some more arriving this week, and that one is a blue fluorite. And honestly, when you see it, I'll show you a piece. Now this piece has sold, but when you look into this crystal and you see the blue and the colours and its formation, it is literally like looking down into the Mediterranean Sea. It's lovely, really is. And of course it just helps melt away all of that anxiety and stress. And there's a more purpley translucent fluorite. This is green fluorite, and this is lovely because it has lots of texture. It's not been totally polished up, it's been left slightly rough all over, so it has a lovely texture. Now, what else do we have on the table? Oh yes, this one isn't for sale, but blue lace agate as well is another really good crystal for the category. And there is also Peruvian calcite. That's another beautiful crystal to work with if you're suffering. But it's like with everything with crystals, you will get drawn to the crystal that will help you. Okay, yes, I have some available. If you want to see any of these, you know, in a close-up photograph, if you're interested in having a closer look at all of them, you can go onto the website, whatever's there at the moment. But you know, there's nothing stopping you from having a browse around and just picking up a little tumblestone, if that helps you. There's also Lapidalite. These are two different types of Lapidalite. The lovely dark one is from Afghanistan, and these ones are more from India, but they really are, you know, Lapidalite is another thing. I actually wear a Lapidalite bracelet because I felt that I needed its properties. And then, of course, there is the famous aventurine, the green aventurine. Now, you can get these in tumblestones as well, you know, whatever you feel drawn to. So I'm just doing this morning so that you can get an idea of what crystals are good for the category to help you. Ruby Sozzite is another one. It's really good, I've been told, from those who actually use it and have used it for a long time, that Ruby Sozzite is really good when it comes to panic attacks. So you can see the lovely green, and that's how you identify the Ruby Sozzite, because it's Sozzite with ruby running through it, and they help as well. And a new one to the holistic world, Zebra Jasper. That's another one that now has properties for depression. So that can help as well. Now, to go on to self-care tips. There are several things that we can do, but number one self-care tip is to take time out for yourself. To say, no, I need time for myself. Whether you go for a walk, or you have a bath, or you meditate, or you sit down and read a book, whatever, you know, they're all things that will keep you occupied without hopefully dragging you back into that feeling really down and really low state. Okay. Now, with your crystals, you can meditate. You can either hold them in your palms of your hand, if you're lying down, you can place them on your chakras, especially the heart chakra, heart and throat chakra, because they're all about truth and the balance of the way you feel, and the way of expressing yourself as well. That's important. And we're being called to step away from family and family and social conditioning. It is very difficult. It's not an easy thing. I've had to do it, and I'm still in the process. Well, yeah, great, Timothy. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, fishing. To be honest, Timothy, that used to be my mother's thing as well. She used to go down the river and for hours. I actually organised a holiday to New Zealand for her. Oh gosh, when was it? I think it was 2007. And guess what she went to do? Fish. So yeah, fishing is fantastic for people, for those who enjoy it. I have to be honest, I get a bit bored fishing, you know, sitting there. And I don't like hurting the fish. I never really did, but never mind. But you know, it's like with everything. We all have our own technique. Now, over the coming days, I'll be taking photographs of these, putting them up onto my page, Magic Hand Shop, because I like to be informative, educational, and at the same time, of course, sell. I need an income. Everybody needs an income. But, you know, I like to find a balance of the two, okay? So please, don't take me wrong there. You can have a crystal. My doctor recommended it as alternative therapy. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And Timothy, you know, when the weather's nice, take your shoes or boots and socks off and get your feet in the mud. You know, put your feet in the water. Stand or sit, you know, depending how long you're going to be there. But be barefooted for as much as you can. Because that connection really helps melt things away. And Timothy, you know, I'm going to suggest it that you have a look at my grounding exercise video on YouTube, and that explains the process much better, because we've been told and taught to do what I consider temporary grounding. And the exercise that I was given, oh gosh, it was given to me. Yes, I've done that a few times, very pleasant. So that's taking your shoes. Wonderful. Now, I was given this grounding exercise, oh gosh, it was way back in like 2003, something like that. But I was busy doing other things all the time, so, you know. But I still need to redo that one just to make it more, I can't think of the word, more user-friendly, yeah. Well, anyway. Another thing that does help is burning incense. Now, there are just a couple that I would advise on because they really are calming. So there's eucalyptus and cedar. Some people find frankincense and lavender also a great help. Personally, I use the herbs, you know, because you can light the charcoal and it lasts for so much longer than just an incense stick or whatever. I was going to demonstrate, but I've just realised that I don't have my little tongs. Let's see if I can do this without burning the place down. I'll just get my lighter. Oh dear. What it is when you... tea tree oil. Oh, good. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to it. I can't go anywhere near tea tree oil. Yeah, you know, but it's a bit like everything, isn't it? You know, I don't want to rub the last year in, but, you You know, with COVID, some people have had a terrible time with it and been really ill. Others hasn't touched them. Then the vaccine comes in. Some are absolutely fine. And some, sadly, have actually lost their lives because of an allergic reaction to it. And it's like that with everything. So, Timothy, tea tree oil works for you. I'm allergic to it. Ah, right, you're allergic to lavender. Exactly, we're all different. We can't be put into a pot and that's it, you know, one size fits all. It just doesn't work like that. And that's why I like to encourage people to, yeah, listen to what I have to say. Go away, read up on things. Get yourself to a crystal shop. Get yourself, well, now that we can, get yourself to events that have crystals. As far as I know, the Rock and Gem show at Newcastle Racecourse is going ahead so far this year. That's a wonderful place to get yourself to. Some of the stuff is a bit pricey, but then again with crystals, you know, you can pay £1 for a tumble stone. I mean, these I'll be selling them at £2. You know, it's something tactile, something that's just there and what have you. And then of course you go to whoops, the unicorn behind me. Can you see the big unicorn? He's 840 grams, £240. But it all depends as to what we're drawn to. You know, as I've had my orders, my deliveries coming in, I've gone, ooh, I'm keeping that one, ooh, I'm keeping that one. And it's whatever works for us. Rose crystal draws your attention. There you go. So do you mean your actual concentration, Timothy, when you say your attention? Or do you mean that you're attracted to it? Because if you're attracted to it, it is another one of those that has become, before it was all about self-love, self-care, time out, positive energy, a bit like amethyst. But now all of a sudden, as I said earlier, you know, if you've missed the beginning, the first 5 minutes, go back to the first 5 minutes, because I have explained quite a few things. But with crystals, as the Earth's heartbeat, Schumann Resonance, is going up, crystals are now also awakening their dormant properties. Yeah, so you are attracted to it. Yeah, it's a really good one. You know, it does have a lovely calming energy. A long time ago, I'm just trying to think how to how to express what happened. I was in what to me at the time was a horrendous situation. And honest to God, I thought I was going to have a total meltdown in an office. And the person I was having the meeting with introduced me to rose quartz. In fact, it was my first encounter with crystals. And she just got up, handed it to me. It was quite a large piece, you know, it wasn't a small piece, it was quite large. And she just said, hold that, and left the room, because she had to go and see her own manager about something. And I just sat there, and I was holding it and rocking back and forwards, back and forwards, back and forwards, back and forwards. And it did. Spending that time with that crystal eventually calmed me down to the point where I wasn't hyperventilating, where I could actually begin to think. I wasn't panicking. I do have a question for you, Timothy. Do you know if you're an empath or not? Now, an empath is someone who feels vibrations, feels other people's feelings, can feel atmospheres. And as empaths, before we start on our spiritual journey, as in knowing that we're empaths, oh my God, your life is chaos. You feel as if you're in a spin. So there's all sorts. See if you're an empath. There's a lady on YouTube, Christine Lopes. She calls herself Lopes. Christine Lopes. She talks a lot about being an empath. Now, I have stuff in the pipeline about being an empath and how to recognize it, but Christine's videos are already out there, and I've come across a lot of nonsense, and that's why I put her name forward. So go have a look, go have a bit of an investigation, because I know I was jumping the gun a bit, okay? Now, if you have clinical depression, it's very different to having depression or anxiety or stress because you're an empath. There's a massive difference. So just as long as you haven't been diagnosed with clinical anxiety or clinical depression, empathy, being an empath could well actually be the answer. Okay, I'm a holistic therapist. I am not a doctor. I do not diagnose. You have to take your own personal cases and start your journey. Now, crystals, yes, can help if you are clinically anxious or suffer from clinical depression. They have proved it in various studies that it does help. Okay, so we travel a very thin line here, because the holistic approach, yes, helps. The holistic approach is more about being aware and finding things that work for you, rather than just going to the doctor and taking pills. Personally, I hate it, and in the last 2 years, I've had to start taking metformin for diabetes. Last year I said, right, okay, I'm going to do something about my weight. I did. I started on a program. Lockdown happened. So in order not to stress myself out and get upset, because I knew I wouldn't be able to do the 5,000 steps a day, I just simply went, right, I'm putting it down. I'm taking that element that could bring me stress and anxiety and depression in. I'm taking it out, I'm leaving it, and of course I've started it up recently, and yes, I have started to lose weight again. So we have to be very aware of what's actually going on with ourselves, and if you're not sure, you can always get some one-to-one advice, or you can just message or phone me. My number's on the page. So anyway, I was going to demonstrate how to light the charcoal, but as I said, I've misplaced, or I haven't brought my tongs out. So I'll do that in a separate video. So I would like to thank you all for joining me today. It's been a great pleasure. I hope that you have enjoyed and found something interesting to go away and have a look at. Now this Wednesday I will not be doing the live because I'm unavailable. It's still being debated whether or not Jill will have a go herself. I would like her to have a go. She has a lot to offer, So on this radiant bank holiday weekend Saturday, I will love you and leave you, and I send you all lots of love, sunshine and healing energy, and I will see you again next week. Thank you. Bye.